So many people don't realize how incredibly powerful their VA home loan benefit is, and they don't realize that you can buy a house with 0% for the down payment. There's no minimum credit score required, and you can have several VA home loans on multiple houses at the same time. And I've seen so many veterans and active militaries build wealth using this tool, the VA home loan. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know. I'm going to break it down for you so that you too can start building wealth. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Meredith. I'm a mortgage broker. I put out educational videos every single week. Now let's get into it. Okay, so let's go over the basics. So of course it's 0% for the down payment. Now there are closing costs that you have to pay, but a good strategy is you want to ask the seller to pay for your closing costs so that this will get you to the closing table with very minimal out-of-pocket expenses, sometimes even $0 to the closing table. And this is a negotiation thing. So you have to be working with a real estate agent that's extremely good at negotiations to get this done. Now, another benefit is there is no monthly mortgage insurance. So this helps bring down your monthly payment as opposed to doing a different type of loan. And also, you can only use the VA home loan buying your primary residence. The stipulation is you have to live in it for at least 1 year. Now, let's say you're trying to buy a house, you're active military, you get orders, and you're about to leave in the next 1 to 2 months. Then what I would suggest is buy the home in the area that your orders are going to be, where you're going to be living in. Now, on the flip side, let's say that you bought the house, you're in it, 5 months later, you're getting orders to leave, that's okay. So this is something that we'll work through together. It's kind of case-by-case scenario. Now, the best strategy, if you're using your VA home loan for the very first time, is to buy multifamily properties. So let's go over that. Okay, so in the perfect world is you would want to buy a multifamily unit as your very first property. And the reason is you can buy an income generating property with 0% for the down payment. So here's how it would look. You would live in one of the units for at least 1 year to satisfy the VA requirements for primary residence. Then rent out the other units. It covers your mortgage payment and plus some. And then after the 1 year, you would move out, put a renter in there, and then you can continue to cash flow that property, go buy another house, and continue the process. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky is because of the price of homes for a multifamily unit. So if you're in a market that you can buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex for a couple $100,000, $200,000 to $300,000, jump on it. Because you could probably get qualified by yourself without having to use the rental income to help qualify. Now, where it gets tricky is if we do have to use that rental income to help qualify you for a higher amount for the multifamily unit, there are very strict stipulations with it. Generally speaking, you have to have at least 6 months leftover savings in the bank to cover 6 months of the mortgage payment. And also, they want you to already have a property management. Sometimes they even want you to have a history of having rentals, which if you're a first-time home buyer, you're not going to have that. So let's go over a more realistic strategy that can help you build wealth. Okay, so due to affordability, also inventory as well, it's more realistic for you to be able to find a single family home. And this works perfectly if your base is in an area that's affordable. So if you can find a house in the $200,000 to $350,000 range. Now, the whole strategy is you buy a house, you live in it. Then you get orders, you go to the next base, and what you do is you rent out your old house. And you're more than likely going to be renting it out to military. And the reason why this is perfect is if that military personnel, if they do not pay, you can actually report it to the military itself so that you get paid. Now let's go over how to have multiple homes with VA loans. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize that yes, you can use your VA home loan several times on multiple properties. And the reason that what it all really depends on is going to be your entitlement / eligibility amount that's left over. And more times than not, if you're on a base that's in a very affordable area, I've seen this many times, you're able to use your VA home loan several times in a row and buy up properties with 0% down. Now, where it changes is, let's say you're in a high cost area like Hawaii, you buy a house. Most likely that's going to eat up all of your entitlement amount. So the next time that you go to buy a house, you can use your VA home loan benefits. However, you're more than likely going to have to put down a down payment. Now, it's still beneficial to always use your VA home loan, and the reason is one, there's no mortgage insurance, so it helps bring down your monthly mortgage payment, and two, you also get a lot lower interest rate than if you were going an FHA or conventional loan. Now let's go over how to figure out how much entitlement that you have. Okay, so in order to know exactly how much eligibility you have, you'll need to access what's called your COE or your certificate of eligibility. And here's how you go about getting it. Number one, you're gonna need your DD-214. You're gonna submit that form to the VA. They'll also need your social and other basic info. And then from there, they will give you the form, your certificate of eligibility. Now, if you're my client, what I do is I submit all this info for you. I have direct access to the VA so that you don't have to jump through all these hoops with them to get the COE. Once you get your COE, that's the form you're going to give to your lender, and that shows them exactly how much entitlement amount. So full entitlement amount, it's going to read $36,000 on there. Now let's go over what exactly all you need for credit, income, and everything to apply for a VA home loan. Okay, so here are the top 3 things that you're gonna need in order to get approved for a VA home loan. So number 1 is you need a credit score. Now, while the VA itself does not have a minimum credit score, however, the banks and lenders often do. The lowest credit score is gonna be around a 600. And generally speaking, if you're below a 620, you're gonna get killed on the rate and the fees. So really that next benchmark is gonna be a 620 score. Now, second thing is you're going to need income to show that you have the ability to make your payments. And if you are active military, there's a variety of different types of income that we can use to help qualify. We can use your BAH, of course we use the base pay, we can use rations, and in some cases some special pay. And if you're a veteran, we can also use any retirement income and also disability as well. And you're also going to need savings for your cash to close as well, money in the bank. Now, here's how to apply. The VA does not lend directly to the public, so you're going to need to apply with either a bank, direct lender, or a mortgage broker like myself. And if you're planning to buy a house and you want to know how much your buying power is using your VA home loan, click on the link in the description, book a phone call, and I'll be in touch.